Morning. So I did a little test this morning, streaming, trying to do a live stream on YouTube to see if I could change the format from, widescreen format to 16.9 to a mobile device. Because it seems like most viewers really like that format. And I thought there was a way to change it, and I hadn't had time to test it. So I did test it and stream from the computer for a few minutes this morning. But this is kind of an unscheduled morning coffee talk live. But I thought, I have a few minutes here while I'm doing something else. And so I thought, got a little Christmas music playing in the background. So I thought I'd do a sound check, see if you could actually hear anything, if you could hear the music in the background, or if it needed to be turned up a little bit. Of course, I don't want it to be overbearing and, play over our conversation or anything. So anyway, just in case anybody's up, getting ready to, get their Christmas Eve going, maybe getting prepared to go travel a short distance to see your family, and have a lot of people have family get-togethers. We do here, usually in the late afternoon, evening. We'll gather with some of our family today, and then again tomorrow. And then we have such a large family. We even gather. We're actually going to gather on the 27th too. Now that's after Christmas, but we're still going to get the family together and do a little barbecue and just spend some time together over the weekend, this Christmas weekend. So anyway, we'll see. I thought if anybody joins this morning, that's great. We'll maybe do a little Christmas trivia. People seem to really like that. And, if not, you can just listen to some of the background music and watch me do other stuff. There you are. Hey, Puddin' Mom 1163. How you doing? Thank you for joining this morning. Happy Christmas Eve. Just starting to have a little coffee this morning and just kind of hanging out and having a nice slow morning before everybody wakes up. Hello, Huster's Michael. What's up? Thank you for joining me on YouTube today. If it's your first time here on Morning Coffee Talk, let me know where you're from. And maybe, let me know if you're planning on traveling today to spend time with your family on Christmas Eve. Or, I can imagine. I have a couple of guys that I work with that both were traveling from Texas to Missouri. And both of them were telling me that it was pretty crazy at the airports. Brad, how you doing? First time from Australia. How is it down under? We had on yesterday's Morning Coffee Talk Live, we had a couple of people from Australia. So I'm always that's one place I would like to visit in my lifetime. Is I would like to go visit Australia. I think never been there. We had some friends that lived there for a long time. They have now returned to the States, but really the only reason they returned to the States is our friend, the company he was working for was in Australia, or at least that's where they had him stationed and working out of, and so he raised his family there. But they did a reorg, kind of like the company that I work for did a reorg, and he got laid off. So he felt like that was a good time to get his family back back to the States because his parents and his wife's parents both were getting a lot older, and they just wanted to be closer to them, and that's fully understandable. I would have want to be too. So thank you for joining us from Australia. I appreciate it. Michael, where are you from? Yeah. Where the United States are. I'm in Texas. I'm in Texas. Just outside of Austin, the capital here in Texas. So, it's funny because normally I wasn't planning on, was it? Become center. Does it jiggle? That's a unusual question. Does it jiggle? Oh, you're too. That's funny. So no, I wasn't planning on doing a live stream today, but I was sitting out here working on some other stuff, and it was pretty quiet, and most of the family's still asleep. So, yeah. So I thought maybe I would stream a little live, and I was testing something. Trying to stream. I was streaming YouTube from my PC, and I was trying to change the format so it goes into the 16:9 for mobile devices, because it seems like, or at least what I've found, is for my YouTube followers is they like that format better. And I know people might think I'm nuts, but we actually get more viewers on the live streams when I stream it from my phone. So I tried it for about 10 minutes on the computer, couldn't figure out a way to change that format. So I stopped the live there. I thought, well, I'll stream it on my phone and see if anybody's out there on Christmas Eve, getting prepared to spend some time with the family. Oh, I love Landman. Have you watched the current season of Landman? I think I'm still watching. I don't think I've seen all the episodes yet. But yeah, that's definitely a good one. And you're watching it on Netflix, so you're watching some of the older ones. This season's, I think it's on, or at least here, it's on Paramount. We stream it on Paramount. Merry Christmas to you too, Brad. Appreciate you. Yeah, it's still going. Yeah, that's good. Series 2. Okay. Yeah, sorry, it's on Paramount. Yeah. I like Netflix. We have Netflix too. So, yeah. Lukey Zuki, Merry Christmas. So, like I said, normally what I do is for Morning Coffee Talk Live is I stream TikTok and YouTube at the same time, and the main reason is, one, I have presence on both sites, and that YouTube actually takes the live and turns it into a full length video, which is always great because there are people, just like we all have jobs and work, and sometimes there's other reasons why they can't join the live. We usually do it Monday through Friday, and I have been doing starting at like 5:45 a.m. Central Standard Time, but in the new year, it's actually going to start at 6 a.m. instead. So give myself an extra 15 minutes. And because my schedule has changed some. And we'll go an hour to an hour and a half, probably, depending on how the live is going. But that's what I'm planning on doing. So, but today it's all about YouTube. I'm just streaming live here on YouTube. Let me ask you a question. I'm going to stop talking for a minute and let me know if you can hear the background music. So can anyone hear the background music? Let me know in the chat. To answer your question, Brad, am I a Trump fan? So I can tell you I voted for Trump. I can also tell you that I don't agree with all of his decisions. I don't, ever so slightly. Okay. So would you suggest that the volume be increased a little bit? Lukey, thank you for letting me know that. Because I've had several requests for people where they've asked, and I've seen other live streams too where they'll play music in the background, but I don't want it to be so overbearing that we can't have a conversation, and that it's too loud. Here, I'm gonna do something real quick. Hey Google, turn the volume up to 25%. So let me ask you this now. Can you hear it any better? Thanks, Brad. I appreciate it. Yeah, here, I'll move this around where you can see a little bit. I'll kind of give you a tour here. Let me do this. I don't usually do this, but you can see behind me. So the wall starts right there. And here, I'll turn on the lights for you. So you can see I've got a couple of LED lights there. And then, you can see the signs. I just added the snap-on clock. And I thought that was pretty cool. And you can see I have a TikTok Live that was given to me by a vendor. So yeah, I have. So some of these signs have come from vendors. Some of them have come from people I've met on YouTube and TikTok, like that one right there. The member of the Southwestern Cattle Raisers Association. That association's been around since the 1800s, and is still around. And I knew about the association before I met one of my TikTok followers who lives in the Texas Panhandle, and he sent me that, and because he works for him, and he is a retired DPS officer. So that's kind of like highway patrol. I don't know if y'all have like a highway patrol or what you have in Australia there. So might be different, but a little. Mr. J the best, thank you. So I always ask everybody, if you share, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you do get notified when we go live. If it's something that you enjoy, and I don't expect everybody to join every day, but just knowing that you're out there, I'm really working on building my YouTube channel. I've had it since 2019. I probably have 400 videos posted on it, but yeah. What is this? You can dislike by going. Please dislike the video to join the channel. Huh. I don't know what you mean by that. But anyway, so you can see the signs and anyway, I'll tell you the story about that. So this wall behind me here used to be cabinets back there. And I came home one Sunday and all of the cabinets that were full of, glass and paint and all kinds of stuff had actually separated and come off the wall. Bulldog 416, hey man, how's it going? Let me know where you're from. It is 7:46 a.m. Central Standard Time here. Absolutely. But today, like I said, I'm focused on just streaming live on YouTube today. I'm not streaming. Like I said, normally I'll stream TikTok and YouTube, but this is kind of an unplanned stream. But I appreciate everybody joining me here on Christmas Eve because I know, most people have plans. I hope you do, and I hope you're going to get to spend some time over the holiday with your family. Morning, Canada. All right. I have a close friend that lives in Canada that I work with. Our company, and I can't mention the company name, but just did a reorganization. And so I was actually let go. So my last day with the company will be January the 2nd. And, for me, it's not too terrible. I mean, there's pluses and minuses. I mean, the plus is I've got about 6 months severance, so I'll get paid for an additional 6 months. The downside to it is I'm close to being able to draw Social Security, so my age is a factor, and I work in technology. So all that said, it's pluses and minuses. All the way from Alabama. Hey, King of the Prairie Dogs. I like that. Thank you for joining. Hey, Dave. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Wow. Thank you, everybody, for joining this morning on Christmas Eve. I'm hoping all of you have a great day today. And, maybe you're off. Actually, believe it or not, I'm actually working. You can't tell that, can you? So because Christmas Eve is really slow, and because my last day with the company is January the 2nd, I allowed all of my guys to take off for the Christmas holiday, and I took on the responsibility of keeping an eye, watching the queue, you might say, just in case there's any emergencies that need to be handled, because usually this time of year, a lot of the management take 2 weeks off, and so because the business runs 24/7, 365, somebody in technology always has to be monitoring to make sure everything's okay. And so to allow them to be able to go, and my family's here locally, so I didn't have to really travel much. They both had to, or three of them had to all get on planes and fly somewhere. So I felt like it was a good thing to do, let them to go spend some time with their families without having to take any of their personal time off. And so I'm kind of steering the ship today. So I thought I'd do that and go live too. So, all that fun stuff. Solid Scorpio. Yeah, you can ask a question. Go ahead. Go for it. Indiana there. All right. Hey, Indiana. Sorry, I'm having to read. Okay. Brittany Green, Merry Christmas. Thank you for joining us. So if you see me squint a little bit, it's because I need a new pair of glasses, and the print is really small on my phone in the chat. So sometimes I have to get a little closer so I can read the text. Cowboys fan? Mm, yes and no. I don't like Jerry Jones. I'm not crazy about Dallas's quarterback. I used to be a real big fan, but just the last few years they seem to. I don't know. They're just. I don't have a lot of faith in them anymore. And actually, the last probably 2 or 3 years, I was more of a Kansas City fan. Um, there's a couple of players on Kansas City that Worthy, who is from the University of Texas, or he played at the University of Texas, and so I'm a pretty big fan of him. And their quarterback was always our nemesis at UT because he played at Texas Tech, he quarterback there. But he's a real competitor, and he's turned out to be a really good NFL quarterback. So, and I like the Kansas City's head coach. So, the last few years, I've kind of been one of their supporters, and they've had some good seasons. This year, they didn't do too good. Mahomie, as they call him sometimes, Mahomes has an ACL tear in the last game, so he's out for the season. And I don't believe they're going to be in any kind of playoff because they've won a few games, but now that he's hurt, they've lost the last couple, 2 or 3 probably. And so, yeah. But no, I'm not crazy about I don't really hate the Dallas Cowboys, but I'm not a huge fan like I used to be when I was a kid. So, yeah. I was around and a huge fan when Tom Landry was the coach. Does that tell you how old I am? Because he hasn't been the coach in a long time. Yeah. So, how's the weather in Indiana? Like here in Texas, believe it or not, normally at Christmas time we would, it wouldn't be like cold. When I say cold, it wouldn't be super cold, but it'd be, we'd have cold weather for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day this time of year. Today is going to be 79 and sunny, and tomorrow I think they're predicting upper or mid 80s for Christmas Day. So in Texas, instead of Santa Claus delivering the presents this year, Santa has farmed out the duties to the Easter Bunny because it's more like spring. And so, yeah, we thought he's going to let the Easter Bunny deliver Christmas presents this year because it's so warm. What do y'all think about that? So, are any of you traveling for Christmas Eve to see your families, or your families live close? And so you're going to be able to spend some time with that, I hope. One of the things that we do on Morning Coffee Talk or seems to be people really like it is they like to do trivia questions. And so, one of the questions that I posted yesterday was if you had a choice and you were required to change Santa's milk and cookies for something else, what would you put on his plate so that he had enough energy that he could finish delivering all of the Christmas presents this year? Let me know your answer down in the comments. It's actually 1 a.m. Christmas Day. Oh, okay. That's right. I forget the time change there. Okay. So Santa's already been to your house. I see. Well, that's always, sometimes that's that's a nice quiet time. Christmas Day at 1 a.m. in Australia. And it's nice and quiet, and the kids if you have kids, maybe they've finally laid down, and you're getting some what I call me time. Everybody needs me time. This is my me time. I'm a early riser, and so partially because of the work I do, it's requires me being up early, sometimes 2 or 3 in the morning. Not this morning. I actually didn't get up till 5 a.m. So, but I'm out here doing a little work and hanging out in the shop. And my shop's not air conditioned, so in this time of year, it's really comfortable. It's not too hot. But in the summertime, it is it can get to 100 plus degrees in here. So this summer, I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do, but I'm going to try to insulate it a little better. And really, it's just the garage door that needs to be insulated. And then maybe figure out some way to run a portable AC system that's not too noisy, and maybe try to keep the temps down in here where I can work out here during the summer too. Brittany, where are you from? Indiana. Okay, I see it. All right, great. So, Brad, did y'all have a good Christmas? I'm assuming you did. I hope you did. Here in the States, like I said, it's Christmas Eve, and so I don't know how everybody does it. Some people actually will open gifts on Christmas Eve. I don't know too many people that open them on Christmas Eve morning, but maybe they did because especially people who have to travel, if they're going to see different parts of their family, they'll do gift opening on Christmas Eve. Some people do them on the Christmas Eve night. I know when I was a kid, we always tried to talk our parents into opening. Let's open presents on Christmas Eve, and I think our parents allowed us to do that maybe once or twice, and we were always disappointed on Christmas morning because we'd already opened all our gifts. And so we kind of, I have siblings, and so we kind of all voted that we weren't going to do that anymore. We were just going to wait till Christmas morning to do the gifts. And of course, my daughter's grown, and we have grandkids, and so and our grandkids are now in college. And so we don't have to worry about, getting up bright and early at, 4 or 5 in the morning and opening Christmas gifts. So we'll, on Christmas Day, we'll actually just, Christmas Day is usually pretty chill because our granddaughters will go and spend Christmas morning with they have a young sister who's, I don't know, she's 5, I think. And their parents are divorced. So they'll go spend some time with their father and their younger sister and do Christmas with them. And then around lunchtime, they'll come home and we'll usually have dinner, and then or maybe we'll open Christmas presents and then have dinner, or we'll have dinner and then open Christmas presents. So, yeah. So everybody's family does something different. And so anyway, that's what we're doing. Are y'all doing anything special? Or are you just kind of chilling? I mean, at 1 a.m., Brad, I can't imagine you're doing a whole lot other than just trying to recoup from Christmas Day there. There's always haters out there. What'd you say? Get a real job. Well, all I can say is there's always turds behind every icon that always want to talk trash, and I don't see you doing lives, so bye-bye. Merry Christmas. Maybe that was a bot. Good. It's really good. Sorry maybe you don't like coffee. Let's see. Can I block this jerk? Yeah, let's support this guy. There we go. There we go. I didn't really think there were bots there. Merry Christmas from Scotland. Hey, Lord Smith, thank you for joining all the way from Scotland. That's wonderful. I hope you had a Merry Christmas there. Is it still in Scotland? Is it still Christmas Eve or is it Christmas Day there, Lord Smith? The English one, what's the stream about? Well, the stream's we're just kind of hanging out, having coffee and visiting. Nothing special this morning, I'll just meeting new people on YouTube, and I'm doing a little work on my side. Still Christmas Eve, about 2 p.m. Okay, all right. So it's here in Texas, it's like it's 8:03 Central Standard Time here. So yeah, the English one, nice. Yeah, so I thought while I was working, monitoring, doing my other job, since it's kind of slow, that I'd stream live on YouTube here and see what everybody else was doing for Christmas Eve. And yes, I am a follower of Jesus Christ. Absolutely. The reason for the season is what I tell everybody all the time. You're a fan of Buc-ee's? All right. Yeah. So you've been to the States before then, if you're from Scotland, or do you live in the States now? Mr. Martinez, thank you. Amen. Thank you for joining me this morning. I appreciate you. So, it's so funny. I started, I've been making videos on YouTube for since 2019, before COVID started, and really how I got started is I do how-to videos and tool reviews, and it's kind of expanded from there. How I got started was writing reviews for Home Depot, and at first it was for free. Because it was just kind of like, people would ask questions online about products, or, and, if I could answer them, I would. If not, then it wasn't a big deal. Then that turned into a program that Home Depot calls their Seeds program. And that's where manufacturers that sell in Home Depot would send you samples of tools and different things to do reviews on. You didn't have to make a video on it. You just, do reviews. But that's how the video and YouTube got started. And so I've been working with Home Depot for since 2019, and it's always been a side gig, still is. However, the next 6 months is probably going to be full time, just to see where I can take it. And since then, I'm also an affiliate for TikTok and Amazon and YouTube. And so, there's some stuff there too, but I don't sell stuff in my lives. I know a lot of people do stream lives, and it's so they can promote an item. Occasionally I'll show if it's something that I got and I thought, I think it's pretty neat. I'll show it to the audience, but usually in my lives, I'm not selling anything. You're a big Marty Robbins fan. I love country music, and I like Marty Robbins too. Mac and cheese for Thanksgiving. But yeah, so that's kind of how I got started. And then a few months ago, I kept seeing, I had been posting some stuff on TikTok and kind of trying to grow that audience some, and people kept telling me, that I should um, I should live stream on TikTok, and I was like, live stream, really? I was like, I wasn't sure I was really cut out to do live streaming. And just one morning sitting in the recliner, it was probably 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And I thought, well, nobody's around. It's quiet. I'm the only one up in the house. So nobody's going to be laughing at me. And so I said, I'm going to try to do a live stream for like 15 minutes just to see if I feel comfortable enough doing it. And so that's what I did. And that's how I started doing live streams. And that's probably been maybe 4 months ago when I started. And, at first I wasn't doing any live streaming on YouTube, just TikTok. But I met some really nice people. I met a Lutheran minister out of Northern Illinois, and he, when you first start live streaming, you don't know all the little innuendos and things to do, and not things not to do, and what to look for, what not to look for. He kind of just would point out in the chat, hey, don't worry about this, do this. And, we've developed a pretty good friendship now. And I met some other people, same thing, on TikTok doing lives. And so, for me, you can make a video and you can put it out there. But when you're done with the video, it's just out there and people can watch it. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I don't mind doing that. But you don't get that personal connection like you get when you're doing lives. Because when you do lives, what I have experienced is a lot of the same people come back to your lives, day in and day out. And I'm streaming live Monday through Friday. So, I have a handful of people. I don't have an exact count, but there's a group of people, and they join Monday through Friday. I mean, it's kind of a ritual, and of course, some of them do lives, and if they do, then I join their lives too. The Lutheran minister, he does. I convinced him, over conversations he was talking about doing Bible study, and I said, you really ought to consider doing Bible study live. I said, I think a lot of people would join, and so he's doing that now, and only to find out that he has a real radio voice, and really is experienced in social media. Because he leads a Lutheran church there in Northern Illinois, and they stream their services, but he streams a lot of other stuff. And when he was in college, he worked in a radio station. So he's done radio. I find out that he has a podcast that he's been doing for 5 years. And so the guy's really experienced, but you'd never know. He's just so modest, but he's become a real friend. and somebody I met live streaming. And so I continue to meet people on live stream, and I just think that that personal connection that you can develop, even though we just see each other through technology and talk and chat back and forth. You can still develop a friendship, and so it's always more fun to have coffee with your friends. I mean, think about it. Do you ever go just get coffee and sit in your car by yourself? Well, I mean, you might. I mean, there's times for that too. But I mean, I can remember when my father was alive. I mean, one of the things that he really enjoyed when he was alive, after he retired, he wasn't able to do it so much when he was working, but when he retired, is he would get up and meet a group of his friends at the coffee shop every morning. And they would have coffee and visit and talk about the day. And so that's kind of what Morning Coffee Talk's about. It's kind of like just a group of people, and we meet and we have coffee and we talk about the day, and you learn about people's families, exciting things they do, you just things like when you meet new people, you learn things about them over time, and they learn about you, and we just share and start the day off. And sometimes we play trivia games, and people like that, and sometimes we just sit and visit. And the lives really all depend on where you want to take it. We have days where we call it a question and answer. So I'll let the audience can ask any questions, as long as they're appropriate and not off in left field somewhere. And I'll answer those the best of my ability. And the same thing. Thank you, Lord Smith. I appreciate you. And so that's how it started on TikTok. And then, because I had a presence on YouTube, but I wasn't live streaming there, and I was, asking different people's opinion. Hey, what do you think about, should I live stream on YouTube? And, I was thinking, well, how can I do both? And so initially I would stream TikTok on my mobile device and YouTube from the computer, and it didn't seem to get they didn't seem to get a lot of views on YouTube. And I thought, well, maybe it's just because I'm not really that good at it, and I'm still learning. And then I didn't really like how YouTube's software works on a PC. It just, I'd done some research, and I felt like that that on a mobile device, if you have that 16:9 format, that more people watch it. And so I start doing research, and I find out actually probably 95% of people watching lives are watching from a mobile device and not from their computer or a TV or a tablet or anything like that. It's usually their mobile device. So I switched, and I started streaming TikTok from the PC, and so it kind of worked out because TikTok improved their software, because initially their software was terrible, and they simplified it. And so now it's a lot easier to use, and you can see the comments, and you can keep up with who you're chatting with. And then when I started streaming my YouTube from my mobile device, the views just went through the roof. And I think it's just basically because most people watch lives and do a lot of stuff from their mobile device. And so, that helped. And the other thing that I started to do is I had made YouTube shorts before, but you know how YouTube always wants to, like you have to have a niche, like, you make videos about just tools. Well, I do a lot more things than just, do reviews for tools. I think there's a lot more about my personality and other stuff that I like to do. And so I think TikTok really put a dent in YouTube's viewership. And I was seeing it on my long form videos. The views had just really slowed down and gone down, and I think it was because of TikTok. So I decided to apply the same thing on YouTube that I did on TikTok, and doing that, I was able to get things turned around, and so now we're getting a lot more views on YouTube too. So there you go, insights of live streaming. What do you do for a career? No, I'm not a truck driver. I work in technology. However, I have a couple of friends on TikTok that I've met live streaming, and they do drive trucks. And so, yeah.
Important question, guys. 1 second. Do you want me to get you dollars for left, right, center?
Yeah. Christmas game we play.
Do you have cash that you need to get dollars left, or are you just going to bring money?
No, I can get some for Mom because she'll want to play. Okay. Don't look at all my cash here. We play a game at Christmas time. We all sit around. It's called Left, Right, Center, and so it's a fun game to play at Christmas. So my daughter was going to run to the bank and get a lot of $1 bills, and so it's a fun Christmas game we play every year. Andy, thank you for joining. I always ask everybody too, because the things that are free on YouTube and live streams are, you can like it, you can share it, you can subscribe, and you can hit the notification bell so that if you like lives and you like this live and you want to see some of the future lives, if you hit that notification bell, you'll get notified when we go live. Not that you have to join all the time, but when you can. I always like to see people come back to the live. It's fun. I'm trying to really build the audience on YouTube, and again, like I said, it's because and probably the best thing I like about live streaming on YouTube is that it turns it into a video. So if for some reason, whatever the reason, maybe you're ill that day, maybe you had to take your kids to school early or whatever, then you can still go back and view the live when you're on your lunch break or something. And, you can even, maybe there's a part where you and I are having a conversation directly and you want to just watch that part of it. And you can do that too. And with TikTok, they just give you a couple of little highlights, but you don't get to pick them. TikTok picks them. And sometimes, it's like, it might be a boring part out, who knows? But I really like the fact that YouTube records it and turns it into a long form video. And what I have found is there are a lot of people that don't get up at 6 a.m. in the morning, but they do like to watch lives. And so we get a lot of views after the live is over, which always helps. Morning on my other account. Hi, Robert. Hey, Robert, how's it going? Merry Christmas Eve to you too, Robert. Thank you for joining. I hope to see him live stream. Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you, Lord Smith. Yeah, I can tell you after going live for a few months, there are days that, I really struggle what to talk about. And that's why I think lives are really, really dependent upon, they're dependent upon your audience, and do they engage? If when I have audiences that are engaging and chatting and asking questions and stuff, man, I could go live for 2 or 3 hours probably, because the conversation keeps changing. When I have to do all the talking and everybody's just listening, sometimes I run out of things to talk about. And you know, I run out of stories, and I always tell everybody, I said, well, I guess I've got, you know, 66 years of stories I can tell. But you know, some of them are interesting, some of them are not. And it's always better when people are interacting. And then, you know, maybe somebody asks a question or says something or takes a conversation in a direction. I go, oh, I can, you know, I got a story about that. And here's an example. I met a guy on TikTok. So my father passed away a couple of years ago. And, but what he did for a living was he was a peace officer. And he worked for the federal government for 30 something years as a law enforcement officer. And then in the United States, if you work for the government and law enforcement, they have a mandatory retirement age of 57. So at 57, he was retired. He worked for ATF. And, you know, I can tell you stories about Waco because he was there. I can tell you stories about when I worked for the state of Texas as a prison guard and some of the things that happened there. But, you know, that conversation doesn't always take us in that direction. But I met a guy on TikTok doing a live, find out he mentions the fact that he is a retired DPS officer. I know a lot of DPS officers. I know some retired DPS officers. Some friends that or some people I went to school with are now retired DPS officers. And so, you know, we get to having a conversation, and he brings up the fact that he works for Southwest Cattlemen's Association, which brought up a story because when my dad retired from the government, he was offered a position in law enforcement with the Southwestern Cattlemen's Association. They only have like 30 peace officers. They're not funded by taxpayers. They are a private organization of about 30 or 40,000 members, and that's how they get paid. And their job is they investigate cattle theft, you know, any kind of livestock theft, any like farm equipment, anything like that type of stuff. And they were around, they started in the 1800s, and their initial purpose was to protect the cattlemen's cattle while they were driving them to market. And so that's how that organization started, and they're still around. And so when he told me he worked for him, and his handle is Cow Cop. And so, because when I saw that, I thought, Cow Cop, what does that mean? And then, you know, I find out what he does for a living, and so he and I have become really good friends too. So we have a lot of stories that we share with each other. So, you know, that's the kind of things that we run into. Channing, hello, how you doing? Thank you for joining us. What's the stories on my side? Okay. So I was going to get around to talking about that. I was showing some of the stuff here. I'm just going to kind of like, so you can see I've got signs and then it goes over there. Okay. So what at one point that wall was sheetrock and textured and had cabinets from one end to the other, tall cabinets. I used to build homes here in Texas, and I got the cabinets while I was came out of a model home that they took them out of, and I installed them in my shop. And so for, I don't know, 15, 16 years, they hung on the wall, and they were full of different things, you know, appliances, paint, glass, you name it, stuff that you could put in cabinets and keep the doors closed. And I came home one Sunday afternoon, and they were all in the floor of my garage, and glass and paint. And I mean, it was a mess. And what had happened is over time, you know, I guess just with the humidity in Texas and being, you know, exposed in the shop, and you know, it's not climate controlled out here. So it's the back and the cabinets separated from each other, and that's what brought the cabinets down in the floor. So I had to clean up the mess, dispose of all the broken cabinets and glass and all that fun stuff. And then I had a wall that I had to take the rest of the cabinet mountings off of. So I had holes in the wall, and it just, looked bad. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I thought about, texturing it, patching the holes, because it pulled a couple of big holes in the sheetrock, and I did have to patch it, but I'm not a professional sheetrock person, so the holes are patched, but you can see where I patched them. I think I did a decent job, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. And I had done a project for my neighbor. He had bought his wife a portable outbuilding behind that they put in their backyard for his wife to have a she shed, and the inside wasn't finished. And so I told him, I said, and they wanted cedar, but cedar is really expensive when you start buying board feet of cedar. And so I said, well, why don't we use fence pickets? They're cedar. They're just a softer cedar, not a hardwood. And he's like, I don't think we can make it look good. Well, anyway, I did that project. It turned out really good. We did it was an A-frame building, and we did all around the trimmed around the windows and the walls and the ceiling. And anyway, it turned out really good. And so that came to mind. I thought, wonder if I took, those are fence pickets back there. I've cut the dog ear off of them, and there's different lengths. And I just a finish nailer and marked all the studs on the wall, and started at the bottom, went to the top, and covered it with that cedar. So then I thought that looked pretty good, and my daughter and granddaughter said, that looks plain. You really should put something on it. And I'd always been looking for a backdrop for videos, right? And, they make all these portable ones and different ones, and none of them really look good. Yet when I watch other people's videos, they have a professional studio, and I mean, they got all these backgrounds. It looks really good. So I thought, well, I said, what if I put some metal signs up? I'd seen some metal signs in other shops, and they were like, yeah, that's a good idea. So a few days later, I come home, and my granddaughters had gone out and bought not all of those signs, but a few, and said, let's try this. And so we put up a few, and had a few people mention, hey, I like that pretty good. And one of my granddaughters just got here. Anyway, so they thought it looked pretty good, and it's kind of grown from there. Like I said, some people that I've met doing live stream have sent me signs, and I put them on the wall. Some I've purchased myself. Some vendors have given me. Matter of fact, one that I really like that was given to me is that one right there. And so the one with "In God We Trust," I like that song. That was given to me by a vendor. And then I have one that's let's see here. So the purple one behind me, right above the garage sign, that's the police officer who works for Texas, Southwestern Texas Cattle Association. He gave me that. Though that's a one of a kind. They don't even make those anymore. And he just happened to have one, and gave it to me. And then right there above the little Roadster garage sign and the clock, you can see the license plate that says TikTok Live. That was also given to me as a sample by a vendor, and he let me pick what I wanted on it. And so, yeah, they did a really good job. So I'm fortunate in the fact that I've got some of those, and I have a couple of LED lights on the wall, but it's turned out to make a really good backdrop for videos and lives. And so I feel really fortunate that's worked out. Channing, hello, how you doing? What's the story? So, Robert, hopefully that answered your question, and that's why I have it back there. And I really like it, and I'm constantly getting a new sign that I recently got here. Joseph Jackson, how you doing, buddy? And I made a short video on this. Is that one right there that says "Bring back common sense"? Think about that. If I made a little short video. I think I've got it posted on YouTube about common sense and our political system. And to me, it's one of the things that, that definitely I think should be brought back to politics is common sense. And I think it goes across party lines, whether you are Republican or Democrat or just whatever. We just need to have common sense again. I get so frustrated. Well, I was telling them the other day, I don't usually talk about politics during the lives because some people are kind of sensitive about it or can be. And, I am a conservative Christian, but I just don't like a lot of stuff. I did vote Republican. I did vote for Trump, but I don't like everything he does. And I don't like how he behaves a lot of times. I think if he would just shut his mouth, stop talking, and just get the work done. And, I think not just him, but everybody, it's like, I feel like that they want everybody at our level, all the voters, they want us fighting over petty stuff so that they're over in the background doing serious stuff that could be either good for us or really bad for us. And we don't know. It's kind of like, the magicians has you looking over here while he's reaching around and taking $100 bill out of your pocket, that kind of deal. That's how I feel like we get treated. And so, yeah, I just wish there was some common sense back in our governments and decision makers and society in general. Just common sense goes a long way. So somebody gave me that, and it kind of sparked that whole conversation over a sign. How about that? So yeah, but yeah, that is true. Yeah, for sure. Anyway, so like I said, I'm kind of out here working but not working because I let all the guys go, get on airplanes and go to their families to spend Christmas with their families, and they live out of state. And so I took on the duty of watching the home front yesterday and today and Friday. Which is good. I was still here yesterday since our neighbor flooded our building. I got to work yesterday morning at 6:30 or 7, and opened the front door, and water's running out the front door. Now, luckily, our office doesn't have any carpet in it or laminate flooring. It's all a finished concrete floor. But it's kind of takes you back when you open the front door of your business and water's running out the front door. And I'm looking around and nobody else is there, and the neighbors are not there. It took till 1 o'clock yesterday to get a hold of them because they were out of town, and the guy had to drive 4.5 hours back to town, and he had accidentally left a water faucet on partially, not all the way open, but matter of fact, he thought he had turned it off all the way. He just hadn't, and it had been running slow, but long enough that it flooded. So Yeah, so when he got back, we had to call or he did because he paid for it. Luckily, it didn't damage really anything that can't be dried out. But he had to get a carpet company to come and extract all the water out of the floor and put some fans in and dry. And so, yeah, things that happen when everybody's gone from the office. That's why we have to keep one of us here keeping an eye on the place. Because all our bosses are not even in the state of Texas. They're in other parts of the country, so they couldn't do anything either. Just turned 15th on the 21st. Well, happy birthday. You know, one of my longtime friends, 40 something years, he and his wife and myself and my wife, we got married probably 6 months apart. And we were young because I've been married a long time, and we're still friends. And today is his birthday, Christmas Eve. And so I always make sure that I reach out to him on Christmas Eve. I want to make him a little short video telling him happy birthday today. So his sister-in-law actually joins, and I've known her for 40 something years too. She joins my coffee morning talk live show that's Monday through Friday from YouTube. And she's really been a supporter and shared and all of that fun stuff. So yeah. So today's his birthday. Let me see how old he's. I think he's a year older than mine. I think he's either gonna be 67 or 68 today. So I will definitely give him a call, and I'm gonna make him a short birthday video and send it to him. So yeah. So there you go. I mean, you know, it's I don't hear a lot of people talk about having friendships that are 40 plus years old anymore. So, you know, the old saying is that in your lifetime, you'll have a small handful of really lifelong friends. And that's true. And you may only have one. I would say that I've lifelong friends, I've probably had 2 or 3 in my life. A couple of them have passed away. But my friend Russell he's still alive and kicking and healthy. And so hopefully we're going to be friends for a lot more years. Hey, Joe, how's it going? So the volume, I thought, well, I can't hurt. I can't hurt that down. So you had a chance to buy a radio with the volume stuck on full for only, it looks like, I think it's €2. I thought, well, I can't turn that down. There's a da-da-da-da joke of the day. Thank you. You'll be around all week. That's a good one. I like that. Can I use that? I'm going to use that in one of my lives. I like that. You know, that's kind of like a dad joke. You've heard so here's your dad joke. Can you tell me why the bicycle fell over? It fell over because it was too tired.
See you later, Papa.
Bye, baby. Leave it open.
Okay.
I'll see you at Nana Pam's. Okay. Granddaughter going in and out. Hey, of course. Just kidding. I'll definitely give you credit for sure. Yeah. Well, come back to the live. So we're going to, just so you know, I'll be streaming live again Monday morning. We start at 5:45 a.m. Central Standard Time. So I'm going to stream live this coming Monday and Tuesday again. And then I'll be off until the first of the year, which whatever that Monday is, the 6th or something like that, 5th. And then we'll be back on starting at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. And we'll do that Monday through Friday from 6 to 7, maybe 7:30, depending on how the live's going or what I've got going. And so we'll be doing that. So Joe, I'll definitely give you credit for that. I like that. I had to read that twice. I was like, what? What's he asking? And then when I caught it, I was like, oh man, you're slow, Dunnigan. But that's a good one. I snowboarded last week. He's been going downhill ever since. Oh my God, that's funny. Oh, I'm definitely gonna put. So Joe, do me a favor, put those two in the comment section. I mean, I know you're chatting here, but maybe afterwards, put them in the comment section of the video, and that's really funny. And make sure that it has your handle, because I want to make sure I give you credit for it. That's great. Mason, good morning. Merry Christmas. How you doing? So, we had someone earlier that joined from Australia, and their Christmas day is already come and gone. How about that? It was the day, this morning was, it was 1 a.m. in Australia. So it was the day after Christmas for them already. But for us, it's Christmas Eve, and then tomorrow will be Christmas Day. So anyway, guys, I've got to run. It's been fun this morning, especially doing this live, and it was really not scheduled because I'd already told everybody, hey, we're gonna meet again next week. But I got out here early this morning, and I thought, well, maybe I'll do a live on YouTube, and so I'm glad I did, because we've had several people join. I always tell everybody, make sure you like, share, follow, hit the notification bell so that you get notified when we do go live, and that gives you the option to join or not join. But the good thing about YouTube is it's all recorded, so if you can't join, you can always go back and watch the live when it's convenient for you, and or check out some of the videos. Guess what? One day I fell down the stairs at my friend's house, and I broke the curtain blinds, and then I almost had a black eye. Guess what? One day I fell down the stairs at my friend's house, and I broke the curtain blinds, and then I almost had a black eye. Huh. Mason, I don't get that. I mean, good though. I mean, I hope you're just joking and you're okay. But anyway, I want to tell everybody thank you for joining. Thank you for engaging with me this morning. What a great way to start Christmas Eve, at least for me, and I hope for you too. I would tell everybody, don't forget what the real meaning of Christmas is. The real meaning of Christmas is today is the day, Christmas is the day our Savior was born in a manger long time ago, but he's still with us. And so that's the reason for the season, not the gifts. But, if you're giving gifts, go give the gift of kindness, maybe to a stranger, because you never know how your gift of kindness can affect someone else. And again, I thank everybody for joining me here on Christmas Eve. It's been a real joy. And I got to kind of go back to work here so I can wrap stuff up so that I can go celebrate Christmas Eve and this afternoon with my family. So until we meet again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and God bless you.